Hi guys, my name is Katlego Baaitse and welcome to Existential.Kulture. Everything you know is a lie. This is one of my favorite story structures that I want to talk about today. And you've seen it in so many films and TV shows, from The Matrix, The Truman Show, They Live. You also see it in Severance as well as The Silo. I want to talk about that today. Let's talk about Plato's Allegory of the Cave. There's a lot of great YouTube videos that have done case studies on it before, so you can definitely check those out. So I'll give you a paraphrase of it. Basically, imagine yourself and others are enslaved inside a cave your entire lives. And in front of you, as you're chained against the wall, are shadows. There are shapes of different things, like a donkey on a cart, a tree. And these shadows are created by light that's emitting from behind you, created by the puppet masters. And these masters are the rulers of the cave. Now, I'm paraphrasing this, and you can definitely get a better description of it from Studio Binder's channel, for example. They've got an amazing case study on it. But essentially what Plato's Allegory of the Cave is about: waking up and then an awakening. And how do you see this in, let's say, one of the best TV shows to come out in recent history, I think, according to my opinion, Severance. Now, let's look at what happens to the workers at Lumen, who almost voluntarily become ignorant to the world. So, in Plato's Allegory of the Cave, by one of the masters, one of the slaves are freed to actually see that the light that's being emitted is not done by the puppet masters, but it comes from the light shining through the cave. And then the light shining through the cave is actually not shapes of things, but as the person who's been enslaved runs out and frees themselves, they start to see that these things that they thought were just shapes created by the masters are actual things. So instead of the shape of a cart, of a donkey cart, he sees an actual donkey and a cart, trees and birds. He starts to see actual things after he's freed from his cave. But what happens as a result of him leaving the cave, this slave, is that his eyes take a while to adjust to the light of being outside. And once he sees that the outside is a whole new world and that everything he knows is a lie, he wants to go back and tell all of his fellow enslaved comrades that, hey, we're actually severed from the truth, right? For the purposes of what we're talking about, we're severed from the truth. The problem is, when he goes back to the cave, he can't see properly anymore. His eyes aren't used to the light, and his fellow enslaved comrades think he's gone crazy. And they even go as far as to say, everything you're telling us is a lie. If you free us from these chains, we'll kill you. And if you look at Severance, how this plays out, it plays out almost in a very similar way, right? So we have the workers at Lumen who are enslaved and looking at the numbers, and they need to free themselves. We have the outside character who comes into the main character's life to try and free him from his voluntary enslavement, in this case, because he works for a corporation, right? And if he wants to free himself and his fellow enslaved peoples, some of them really are resistant to this. However, of course, because it's really so well done, it does take creative liberties, and it is just really an influence in terms of a story structure. Doesn't stick to it perfectly, but it really is really well done. And you see this in Silo 2, Season 1, how they live in a literal silo, and little things are revealed to them bit by bit, and they start to see that everything is a lie. I've spoken a little bit about They Live before, and how he also sees how everything is a lie. But it really leads me to think about, are we as a society, are we severed from the truth? And in some main ways we are. How you see AI is used in propaganda, it's used in advertising in nefarious ways at times, even though people are getting a little bit better at spotting the fakes, but it's always something that we're kind of working out still. I'm going to keep this one really quick and really light. I have a question for myself and for all of us. Are we in fact severed from the truth? I'm really looking forward to Season 2 of Severance. It's really well shot. It's stylistically very cool. There was some amazing cliffhangers at the end of Season 1. I won't spoil that. That's it for today. Existential Culture. Let's get it.